And it's been 7 days since we last sat on this couch to talk about all things football, permutations of how the seasons could be like. We went even to the streets to find out what some of you were even thinking or talking about. But so far so good, it's been a season of false starts, a season of blue balls, and I'm surrounded by men that are not so blue in the face, shades of melanin. My name is Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Sword, aka Sword, the Queen of Sports, sitting here to talk about kicking it with NairaBet. After this break, we'll go into the matter. Welcome. And you're welcome back to Kicking It with NairaBet. To be part of the conversation, you know what to do. Follow the roads, the yellow rabbit when we say the waka under the line, and you will see where we say all the website, all the links, and where you fit in relate with us like Kate. But first, I said I have melanin popping. Let me start from the corner. The man in green is called Onokala Onyebuchi, aka the Laba fart now.
Now green be this.
It's green now.
It's not lemon.
It's lime green.
It looks like lemon. But it's nice to be here, so finally. After like 1 year, I don't invite me. It's nice to be here.
Better drink our cup of water first.
Oh, I like water die.
Drink and first. Thank you so much.
Water sweet, chow. Water sweet.
That's Buchi right there, Laba. I'm going to come to regular customer. You know him already. You be highlight for the week. What's popping, man?
I'm great. I've totally enjoyed the weekend. It's great football. It's been a long time I actually sat for a whole Saturday and just watched football. This was the first time in maybe 2 years, and that's interesting because I'm a broadcaster, but I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. So.
In other words, he's saying he's single and searching. Moving forward, to the man who is called the Silver Fox on some level, probably the silver for your baby.
I don't know about Silver Fox.
I don't know about that too.
Older than I am.
But you have the grey and the Mr. Nnamdi Awakalu. Did I pronounce it properly?
Nnamdi Awakalu.
Awakalu.
Yeah.
Awakalu.
Okay,
yes,
you see why we say no good to do. Shoot your shot. Nnamdi, what's popping, man? I like for
I'm
the
good,
week.
man. 6 points out of 6. 2 games in. The Arsenal's flying. The coach is bedding in. We have Gabriel at the back. Come on, man. Say less.
I don't think I'm going to enjoy this episode.
Nobody's talking about football like saying I
think I'm going to enjoy
it. I mean, let me focus. Buchi, I know both of you are our Laba. Let me say Laba, right? I'm so used
Laba
to
is better, man.
Laba
That's
is better.
Not be Laba, it's Laba.
La.
You have to put the bars to it.
Okay, so Laba.
Yes. So
I'm going to
please spoil them. I beg. On my brand.
I know we'll spoil them again.
Thank you.
Laba.
Okay.
I'm going to direct this question to you first of all.
Why now? Because they are fat pass.
Probably because now you date to my left pass, so that may not be like that.
Don't fatty shame me.
I won't fat shame.
Let's go.
As it is, I feel like what's happening to Frank Lampard is like what's happening to Ozo and Nengi.
Wow.
When you keep chasing and chasing, and then you don't want to change your pattern for the chase, and you are not getting a positive result and matter the cast. So looking at the game that just played out with Chelsea and Liverpool, what do you think went wrong for Lampard? Was he just outclassed, or not just saying no get sense, we should never learn lesson?
I feel say Lampard no get sense because I plan good chess, we no love him myself for Gato. But I like Lampard. Lampard a fantastic manager. On a good day. Good player, fantastic. But from the one I talk about the one you follow me, Lampard is just there. Like your normal average English manager. I'll say 247. English players are overrated. Their managers too are overrated. They don't really know the basic, the sweet science of football. So they make a use to travel go small. If you want to know the best of managers, manager will sabi the cocoa, the innuendos of football. You go to Spain, you go to Italy, you go to Germany. They shish them, they work for there. In England, it's just hype. Lampard get that Chelsea up because of hype. Now my own opinion, if you vex, that's your problem. But he got that work because of hype. And I keep on saying it, Lampard keep on buying players. They buy player. And not into buying technical players. Lampard cannot handle technical players. He can't.
That's interesting because
he gets confused. Now my time, now what did they do now?
Okay.
He gets confused. So how many minutes I get?
He don't run them, but they give him.
He gets confused. What are you playing? You have Timo Werner. You have my boy, Harvis. You can't waste time, me.
But
Are you-
Havertz had a fantastic
Are
game
you
against
fucking kidding me?
Liverpool.
Who's fantastic? What did they call
At
fantastic?
least
You watch the game.
him give assist when they say like
No,
Timo
no,
Werner
no,
miss
no,
out
no.
on like
you
a couple of times.
sat on your television, watch your decoder. Havertz never had a fantastic game. He was confused. You know why he was confused? He was played totally wrong. Havertz and Leverkusen normally, he plays behind the striker, sometimes behind the wings. Havertz is special, generational. You give those players the free role. Make them feel special. Make him feel special. How much you expect for him body buyer? He then give me that money, my generation don't go pour again. Like he was that good. And Lampard can handle it. Lampard have winner right now. He get Havertz. Whenever was his year show. He go get confused. Like honestly, I didn't give Chelsea want to help yourself. Advice, sorry, before you go.
Oh, yeah.
You don't help yourself. You just go Germany. My boy club. RB Leipzig. Sorry, my boy club. I know we know the boy.
You know the clip.
Go collect Nagelsmann to help Chelsea. Otherwise, Lampard won't do shit at Chelsea.
Do you believe to same thing? You be might get to you before I get to you, Mr. GQ. We get to Mr. GQ today.
No, I'm actually not necessarily. I don't think Lampard is the finished product as a manager. Certainly not. I don't think it's finished. The finished product. I think the second season, when you spend money, obviously, there's always going to be a lot of demand on you. But the problem we have is, and he's an interesting talking point, and would be rightly so when you cost £80 million. The problem is when you bring a player like Havertz. If I asked every single person on this couch, sofa, what Havertz is a specialist at doing, they probably would give me two answers. You know, when I spend 80 million on a player, what I want to see is what is the one thing you can wake him up at night and he would do. You know, you wake Ronaldo up from sleep at night, he'll score goals. You know, Lukaku will score goals. You think Messi, you know, he would give you what he would give you. Kevin De Bruyne assist and 8 over 10 performances. With Havertz, there's just so much we think he can do. Oh, he's a great assister, he's a generational talent, like he's mentioned. But what's the one thing he is a king at? And it's the same problem with Paul Pogba at United. You know, he can do so many things, but what's the one
So
thing?
jack of all trades,
that you're
master of
specialist?
none.
When you
So-
spend £80 million, you want to have a specialist at something. I don't find that. Yeah.
I like that you said that because the question I'm going to throw at you, Namdi, are this. It feels manager problem. It feels personnel problem. For you, do you think Lampard is the guy to carry it across, put it together? And if not, how soon do you think Egusi Saka?
Okay, so here's what I think. I think Chelsea is a glamour club. Has been since Roman Abramovich took over. I say a glamour club in the sense that it's been buy to win ever since he took over. When was that? 2004. Right? So because of that, Chelsea have had either you have a manager who's a hit or a manager who misses the target, right? When you think about Di Matteo, you think about what's his name, Andre Villas-Boas,
Yeah,
the
AVD.
Portuguese,
Yeah.
right? These are managers who, at the time, looked like they might be a good fit. Di Matteo was a stopgap, but then he won the Champions League. But then it turned out that, as we now know, since we haven't seen him do anything major since then, that he wasn't really what Chelsea wanted, which is a winner, right? Now with Lampard, let me tell you what I think about Lampard. Think about Lampard as a player. It's interesting that you're mentioning you want to pay that much money and see what's your specialty. Lampard was special at making the simple look extraordinary.
Right.
And in the process, making you think him extraordinary because he did the simple so extraordinarily. What could Lampard do? He knew how to whack a shot. And he knew how to run. Lampard made running look like something that nobody else could do because he was always, he arrived late in the box, he found space outside the box to take a long shot. He was that sort of player who you would wonder for a second, why is this guy so highly rated?
Yeah.
But then his numbers, his stats will prove you wrong.
200 goals plus.
So I think he's approached management with the same idea. Listen, if I work as hard as I possibly can,
Right.
I study as much as I possibly can, I'm watching film, and I have all the right players, eventually everything must gel. But in this management game today, at the highest level, you need to have a little bit of what the French call je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
You need that little
What are you talking again? Call him
Je ne sais
again. I've
pas.
not gone to French before, bro.
You know, say Arsenal and French players.
Why go to
Right.
speak
So
to
we
the
learn from
technicality?
them.
I say. No, I love this. I mean, look.
love English, bro.
Nani makes a brilliant point.
Yeah.
Well,
And it just reminded me of something I was telling a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago. Chelsea are constantly trying to change the natural identity of the club, you know. And look,
But does Chelsea have
obviously
a
this is
natural
just 2 games in, so
identity?
Can I
it can be a
can I
bit.
come in there?
Yeah, right
Talking
before
about
you come in
identity.
there, notice that Chelsea that we know is they win, like you said, hit and miss.
Yeah.
So what are they trying to change?
So what?
What is natural
I'll let you go. The Chelsea identity is, look, for 10, 15 years, Chelsea were the club with the scourge of European football. You know, if you met Chelsea, they were going to bully you off the pitch.
Okay.
You know, this conscious transition, and every time they've done it, in my opinion, has failed. You know, Villas-Boas, Di Matteo, every time they've wanted to leave the powerful, strong, physical, yet technical, brilliant and efficient team and go for the more silky, you know, let's be a bit more flamboyant. There's Kai Havertz here, let's just bring in Juan Mata, which is a great player, I love him. It hasn't been a sustained level of success. So every time they switch back to, say, an Antonio Conte or Gus Hiddink, more traditional, more, you know, unconventional, you know, just get the job done, they find success again. And I think that you've got to take pride in that legacy, you know, and that's what Sarri did. Sarri obviously won the Europa League, but it's always this short-lived success. And, you know, that's just the problem with Chelsea, in my opinion.
Okay, from one London club, we'll switch up to another London club, probably the club that people feel should be the pride of England in just a little bit. If you feel like what they just said about Lampard or Chelsea or the boys that play for Chelsea or Lampard, if you feel like what they talk makes sense, you know, just run to the comment section and, you know, drop your thoughts and let it flow. And now we flow into Arteta, aka the man of the hour, aka back to back is a hit.
Spanish Jesus
I don't know whether he said that Spanish Jesus Christ. What
Jesus,
again?
That's what I called it, Spanish
I
Jesus.
like it.
From the one, you don't know me. I bragged about Arteta from the one. Go check.
That is true, actually.
No, from the one. When that happened in the enemy, and everyone mad.
But that's not because you know like Emery right from time.
It's not. See, make I tell you something. Emery, you know I'm spiritual. Like I saw the future about Emery. From the day one, Emery I was actually on radio that day when they appointed him Emery. I nearly crazed that day. I decreased every day. But that day was
Almost enter market.
No, I can't even get the market. It was crazy because I never wanted Emery.
Okay.
Never, because I see in history for PSG, Emery is an egoistic manager. Like I talk for you, I can't.
No, you know we talk and say Emery egoistic.
No, egoistic in the sense is he wants to be in charge, but he doesn't know how to be in charge.
Okay.
Confused.
Okay, now the question to you is, because you bring him out, although I don't see any reason why we say Emery could be that guy, because I mean, I feel like that guy was a pussy guy.
Let's leave Emery alone.
No,
my reason.
but
It's
what
my
was different?
reason.
What was different
Between what?
between Emery and what Arteta is doing now?
It's
What is
obvious.
working for Arteta right now for Arsenal?
What's working? Arteta, he has three. When he came, he has three identities when he came in.
Okay.
One is respect.
Okay.
Respect, not just respect him, respect the team. If you don't go respect the team, you don't go do my team. 2, identity. And 3, know the club you're playing for. No say Arsenal a big club. If you know say Arsenal a big club, no come. He kept on saying it. Say, I don't go beg any player to come to sign for my club. If not say Arsenal big, don't come. You know why? He knew the levels of Arsenal because he captained Arsenal. And let me talk about Arsenal. Like Arteta, don't they groom him from small, talking about Arsene Wenger to take over. Arsenal paid for his badges when he retired. Arsenal paid for his badges, and they give you exclusive. Don't make me play you too much. Paid for his badges. You get. So when Wenger still there, he comes the opportunity to go meet Pep Guardiola. He went because Wenger is a man. Wenger are those. There are few men. They call them the wise men that knows how to see the future. Then they go say, Alpha, are you too much? We go see something in you. And Arteta came to Arsenal. Arsene Wenger used to call him one of his best captains. That's him. Arsene Wenger had captains like Patrick Vieira. Go say Arteta are one of his best captains. He means something. He can control the squad. And when he came in,
it's so crazy. I'm sorry to cut you off. But I didn't buy into the Arteta project for a very long time.
You don't see the future, my brother.
Like, I didn't buy into the Arteta
You don't see
project
the future
until FA Cup land.
See.
How was the day?
What we don't understand is FA Cup, nobody waiting change Arteta. FA Cup was
No,
just
I
a
agree.
plus. When Arteta came in, see, people don't look at expression. I'm not the finest of guy, but I'm the finest when it comes to like looking at people. Arsenal changed. The players start playing. The players love playing. The players became happy. If you're not happy for this life, you're not going to dominate. The players die different. They were happy. Joy, like Whiskey song. Joy, nothing but joy.
I beg.
I can't sing. So joy, it was totally different. He came in. I know they're not about Arteta. See, when players see person wey sabi. They go follow the person wey sabi. It dey very obvious. Pep Guardiola might be this, might be that, but he has one thing: don't play for me. We don't have to be friends. Not be friends with me.
So basically,
do your job.
That's what Arteta is.
That's what he's doing.
Hold the thought.
Right.
No, my thought.
I did come somewhere. Well, first of all, because I know you like the study strategies, right? Arsenal, they don't move from different kind of strategies from 4-4-2 to 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
They don't play around with 3-5-2.
3-4-3-2.
Now 3-4-3.
Yeah. So far so good. Initially last season before the corona, everybody said the guy too they tweak things up. Why too much touch? But right now you feel like say Arsenal don't finally get a formula with kind of personnel they get. Because some people say they don't get squad depth, but at least for strategy, do they have something going? Don't forget saying less than 10 days that they go to face Liverpool for the first time this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think Namdi would have maybe a better insight as to this, but I honestly
don't get inside, just talk now, I don't get inside.
Look,
the last time I went to Namdi, I agree with Namdi. I don't talk for like 1 minute, I don't get inside too. Like, you don't follow me, I will be guys.
You big thing.
So
He's trying to sub me, I'll sub him back, man.
So I honestly believe the first thing that's come in and done is we're too easy to face, and you could be the biggest attacking team in the world. If teams enjoy playing you, that is a problem. Every time Chordini played Arsenal,
Don't look at me, look at
he wanted to have he enjoyed it. It was like a good trip.
Yeah.
And you've got to erase that. So first thing is, let's make ourselves hard to beat. I don't care about how important an attacking player you are, but you have to take priority or take pride, in a sense, in keeping clean sheets. And I think that's the foundation of everything is done. From there, when you have quality players like Aubameyang and you've got Ceballos, you've got Lacazette, their talent will always show in a structured environment. So for me, that's managers are given a lot of credits, and rightly so, for the big calls and the bad calls. But honestly, once you build a base where everybody knows that we cannot leak goals, it is unacceptable to be conceding 4 goals in a game, 3 goals in a game, then it's easy for talented players to work in that environment. So if Aubameyang does what he does, he knows that at the back we keep it tight and I'll score a goal and win the game. It's easier that way.
Quick one, Namdi. Arsenal now the contenders, the dark horse for like the Premier League title this season.
If you just allow me to just say something before I
say something. We are not giving up on you.
Yeah, so just to follow on from that thread, the idea that I have about Arteta is that my guy is tactically sound, right? So I always got the sense with Emery that he was constantly confused. Even when, at the beginning when he came in, we're getting a few good results, went on that long run, like
22 games without
I like that. Emery ball.
But in that period, you still got the sense that around the 65th minute, Emery is panicking.
Exactly.
I need to change something. I don't know what. It's just like, you're making a soup and you're making Egusi, and at some point, it's just like, more.
Just
find ginger.
That's the best. So I like mushroom.
You understand? You'll put mushroom, whatever. I got that sense with Emery. But with Arteta, it always feels as though he's worked out the strategy, right? And you can tell what school he went to. He went to the Pep School of Football. Pep has plan A, B, C, D,
that I don't agree
E.
with, but
I don't care about the Pep fraud hecklers. That's none of my business. Pep is a genius.
Let's not insult. See, Arteta is in secondary school. Pep is PhD.
Well, his football has been more anti-Pep than Pep.
No, but that's because of the resources he's working with. So Pep always, at any time, and that's the one thing you can say against Pep, he surrounds himself with a certain kind of footballer.
Intelligent people.
Do you understand? So, but Arteta doesn't have those kind of resources.
That's the reason he hasn't.
But if you see the changes he makes, just take the last game for instance. He noticed that Lacazette, which happens late games. I'm not a football manager, so this is just my personal insight. Lacazette started to look like he was tiring. He wasn't making the right runs. You brought in Eddie. I saw Eddie in Ketia and I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you trying to do here? Who is Eddie? But Eddie makes runs. Eddie finds himself in the right position. Eddie, regardless of how much quality he has, he's that kind of fox in the box striker. And if you look at his movement for the goal, they analyze it afterwards. It wasn't just that he got in the right place. It was the way he bent his run to stay on side. Do you understand? And Arteta has a sense in advance of how he wants to play, who he wants to play where. Even when he's playing defensively, the shape is quite clearly laid out. Emery didn't always have that knack, and I think that's the big difference.
I think Arteta comes in with a lot of respect, and when you have the kind of capital that Arteta has coming into the
Capital
club.
110.
That is like
The-
in terms of
in terms of emotional capital, you know, connection
Do
with
you
the club.
understand? Yeah.
You can
Club
be a bit
capital is
more
money.
No, you can be a bit more. You can be a bit more.
Arsenal will never give money, so don't worry about capital.
When you have what Arteta has, and the same thing Ole has
And
as well,
invest
you can
in
invest, you can
Do you understand?
push people around, and
Yeah.
they cannot talk back at you because
But-
you've just got a great goodwill following you. So I think Emery did not have that,
It didn't.
Okay.
especially
Emery-
off the year he came with PSG.
I don't know why we're trying to touch Emery up here. Emery's whack.
Finally,
That's
is Arsenal a contender for the title?
Right.
No.
No.
We're a contender for 4th place.
For 4th
Let's
place.
keep it real.
So can I get an exclusive?
Yeah.
I'm not beat by Arsenal
Okay.
anyway. Arsenal win the Premier League
Okay, I like that.
at the end of the season.
Love it.
I
I
hear
like
good
that
they talk
call.
am.
I like that
Love it.
call.
But
See,
don't know, give me.
should this happen the way Buchi has said or the way Namdi has
Arsenal
said?
win league.
You know what? Top 4, Namdi, Arsenal go
Did they
Number
Arsenal
one.
wins the
See,
league?
did they
We're
win
not
the
doing this
league?
show.
Maybe manage Europa Cup.
See, we will bring
league.
either of them back, whoever gets it right. And you know what? We're going to trade bash, we're going to drink beer and let it be. If you have other opportunities to talk about this, or you want other opportunities to talk about this, just go on the comments and drop your thoughts because we're about to travel all over to Spain. La Liga, La Liga, La Liga. Don't go anywhere. Look. Okay, so I am sure you have your cups filled up with some of your favorite beverage because we are about to get into somewhere that's steamy hot, and unfortunately it's going to be about a guy that we all love, but right now he seems to be the bane of Madrid. I'm talking about Eden Hazard. Welcome back to Kicking It with NairaBet. I'm still Tracy Chappelle, the one you call Swore, aka Swore, the Queen of Sports, still here with Laba, with UB and Namdi, aka I will talk one thing, but man, no pushing me.
Has a nice ring to it. Has a
It's
nice
La,
ring
it's
to it.
La Bar, bars, bro.
Laba.
Please call my name. La Bar.
Laba.
One
So
for you.
Laba is
you.
here, and Laba. Let me
you.
throw this to you. Not like say be barman, but who can unlock
Pay me, I
Hazard?
could be barman, no.
Jesus. Help me make a help.
Keep
us.
money, I could be barman.
Okay, Hazard.
Eden Hazard, what
How
you
to
do?
unlock him?
I lock
Real
him.
Sociedad.
Not bad luck.
0-0.
Person the chop better money, I'm gonna lock him. How? With the money, no gonna lock himself. But at the end of the day, see, Hazard, I like Hazard, but I feel like people too hype and past the level in the. It just be like say you dey rate okros, but you know Egusi soup. We know say Egusi soup is the lord of all soups.
Your opinion?
It's a fact. If you disagree, that's your personal. I don't care. But Egusi soup is the lord of all soups.
Of course,
But people are trying to make Hazard look like Egusi soup when it's okra soup.
Like, you
You agree, right?
Egusi is mad.
Egusi is mad. Thank you.
Okra is bait, please.
No, don't.
Seafood okra. Okra.
No wonder your hair is green.
I go blame you.
So there's a different color. So Hazard go
Wow.
I go pick this ass.
Hazard go Real Madrid. See, problem we want to understand be say when Hazard can go Real Madrid, the shoe when they go feel, then of Hazard no go feel that shoe. That's one people don't understand, and it's a big problem. Hazard normally they go ghost mode when they Chelsea too. The only thing Hazard was for totally ghost mode. It was nowhere to be seen. You can't go Real Madrid, go replace. For me, the best player who don't play this football, talking about Ronaldo. The anointing about him be say, he can't get Wunjo. The anointing about him be say, he can't be very inconsistent. The anointing about him be say, he can't get fans. We no get sense too much like that. They're talking about Real Madrid fans. Real Madrid fans can boo and throw anybody away. If they can boo Ronaldo, throw out Bale, who the hell is Hazard? Who the hell is Hazard? Zidane will do the best he can to do for Hazard. But at the end of the day, now Hazard house he did to unlock himself. And again, I wish I'm luck. Hopefully, he go beat in injury crisis wahala. But me, being honest, I don't think Hazard can do more than what he's doing right now. And the good thing about it, they have a manager. The manager won the league without Hazard. The input, too much input of Hazard. That was a fantastic manager that can do anything. And Zidane, if anybody talk says Zidane will be world class manager. If anybody,
Yeah, calm down.
if anybody talks
calm,
Zidane
I
and
say
not
calm down, calm down. We
that
know
the
the
person. Give my
Now,
phone
Hazard,
number.
Hazard.
Go fight.
Zidane,
No. I'm talking about. I'm trying to
We
defend
talk about.
Zidane.
Hey, okay.
No.
Hey, world class.
I mean, world class is a
Yeah, world class.
You know what?
couple of notches
He
high.
won the Champions League back to back.
Great.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Who don't talk about this of this
He's
life?
a child of Providence.
It's not good to be Providence. Now that Progress Bank. I don't. What does that mean? Hazard.
Destiny's child.
It's not
Zidane.
destiny. It's hard work.
For me, like
Yeah, please, I beg.
Don't do that like this.
you know,
Like,
the thing with Hazard and
you feel
Zidane
like
is-
Now Zidane is a world class manager. Please don't do that.
no, world class is going
can bully him,
couple
you cannot
of
bully him
notches
with
high, but the truth is, you cannot argue against 3 Champions League titles.
Are you kidding me?
You can't
Okay, the
argue with
question
that.
is-
You can't
I
argue
won the
with
league
that.
after coming back from this coronavirus. Well, you won the league.
Okay,
the
calm
outcome
down.
of the league was 8.
I say calm
As a
down.
big vest,
Calm down. I say calm down. Not be
80 odds
Zidane.
to
We not they
20
talk
odds.
about Zidane. We they talk about Hazard. Nobody
Sorry.
drag. Nobody
Don't be
drag.
that go unlock Hazard.
And now,
And why don't
among
put
other
that
places
there?
now, maybe they need to carry Hazard guy and go wash his head. or
He's
something,
he's
so-
never been, you know.
Maybe he needs to go to what's that guy?
Babbage.
Joshua.
Babbage.
TB.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, which side
Where Gomez
go
go?
mountain, may go mountain.
Where Gomez go, I remember.
Anyway, moving from that, maybe we quickly throw this to you guys. Crystal Palace, we just have to just touch it a little bit. And I know this is painful for you, Yubi, but you have to do this. See, man up. We had the big boys drowse.
I'm just, you know, I'm just
Adjust.
gonna adjust myself.
Man U, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
What went wrong? Fluke or really now? What would they expect from Man U this season?
I think you'll see more games like that. It's for me, like, you know, you're never really gonna have a United team that would go 10 games, you know, with W's.
Okay.
You're always gonna have that one slack performance, and it's just because the manager doesn't necessarily have a full grip on the players, and it's gonna be a yo-yo for a bit. It's gonna be up and down. I don't necessarily expect anything from them, because I think you have to get rid of the people who don't necessarily want to give everything for the club. You know, e.g. Paul Pogba. I've always held the opinion that he is a top quality player, but does he have the hunger to just want to put his, you know, sweat and blood on the line? I don't
his
think
body
so.
on the
You know, I
line.
think Bruno is that player.
For real?
I think
real?
I think Bruno is
For
that
real?
player. I think
Ah.
Rashford is that kind of player, but does he have the quality then? So there's too many pieces to the puzzle, and you have players who are in the twilight of their careers. Nemanja Matic, you know, how much can you get from him at the time where he is in his career? So I didn't expect much, but I was quite surprised that they couldn't quite beat Crystal Palace. Full credit to Crystal Palace, deserves it.
Okay, so Nnamdi, you've been saying too many deadweights. I'm just going to tie this section to end it with the savior of Man U that was supposed to be the savior of Man U. I mean, beginning of this
Give me 30 seconds, please.
beginning of this yeah, we had Bruno Fernandes. No, I'll give you a quickie time. It's okay.
You can't disgrace me on TV. Quickie war. Do you know who I be? Go ask around though. Say 30 seconds war. You can't disgrace me. This is my rights. My man rights. Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
Bruno had a good game
do
though
that.
against
Okay.
Crystal.
He had a horrible game.
No,
Horrible.
he didn't have a great game per se.
Now
but the
back of
numbers were
stadium,
what
still
is
you
good
did
with
watch
me?
that
He has a
match.
horrible
Nnamdi,
game.
back to you. Match, read this one to you.
Yeah.
Fernandes, has EPL discovered him? Yes or no? Bruno
You mean
Fernandes.
discovered him hasn't seen the best of him?
As a fraud.
Is he?
Or has it been
because-
found him
revealed
out?
to
Have they found him
no,
out?
No, I mean, it's one game in. Bruno Fernandes is a great player. He carried them the whole of last season.
not.
So can he still
Ole
carry
could
them
not
now?
stop playing him. I think he definitely can. See what I think the problem is with Man U. Maybe it's a bit of an unpopular opinion. Or maybe everybody shares the opinion, who knows. I think it's a mentality thing. So I was just thinking right now, I was thinking about that great United side. Let's think about the 1999 squad, the one that won the treble, right? It's occurred to me that they had maybe 4 really outsized personalities that drove that team on. You know, you had
Dwight York.
someone like a Stam at the back, you had Roy Keane, you had York and Cole, but then the rest of them around them, or even Scholes, who is like a magician, they were workers. They were ready to play their
You know
part.
what? Workers.
Workers.
Nothing like be a
Workers.
the
Workers. Not workers. Workers.
Workers. Like normal civil servants.
Like, I don't go walk.
Like you don't go walk.
Exactly.
Workers
So
is workers.
if you think
And
about
if you're getting
if you think about
workers.
Solskjaer, Solskjaer played.
Is it
as a
so
super
scary or
sub.
social?
I don't.
I mean, it has different
Your English is
iterations.
too much
don't
now.
even
Like,
give
calm
it.
down now.
The
Calm down.
iterations are a lot.
It's not even my
Like, it's just the way
manager.
you
I don't
say
even
la
care.
bar.
I don't even care.
Yes, I say la bar.
Who talk like Nigerian man now?
But what do you
care?
what do you think it is? Is it Solskjaer?
Anything will be, but not so care.
So Solskjaer,
Solskjaer.
right? My problem with Solskjaer is like
Don't do this
For
again.
soldier.
it's like so I feel that Ole
Yeah.
that's better, right?
Better.
I feel that Ole was one of those workers. He's not accustomed to getting in the dressing room. You drag a player by the collar and say, listen, bring this shit home. Do you understand? Get the job done.
It's not
Because he
brutal
was a player who was dragged along in
Yeah.
those days. It's just a thing that I think. And I think that as long as you have Ole in the hot seat, in crunch time, Man, you will continue to face a lot.
Can I come in
Totally
there?
agree.
Okay, I need to move to the next section. But just, oh yeah,
give my quickie time. No,
15 seconds.
Grab a stopwatch.
You know what?
Gonna do.
See, I think
Yeah.
the problem with United, we say,
Yeah.
their fans, the players, all of them, they are in a state of glisma. Very confused. They think they are big. They are not that big anymore. When they come down to earth like stunted growth, and realize that they are not as big as before, and realize that they are overrated Crystal Palace. That's what they are right now. Then they will get back there. So that is simple truth. That is the simple truth. United are not big anymore. They are not.
Okay.
They are not.
Okay.
So that's it.
You don't make me feel sad.
You don't like say when they get.
No. You call them overrated.
Exactly.
You don't do.
I want you to
Now people picking. No do am. I don't want. I beg.
Baba,
I take a beg.
When you insult footballers,
we will be
footballers,
right. No.
when you insult footballers, then get money. You know they insult them, get money.
Off in my people, we will be right back, and when we come back, we'll play some tickets, we'll do some quick shots, and then please, we'll make some bets. Please, Boko, madman. And this is my favorite part of this full all adventure that we get on Kicking It with NairaBet. This is where we get to play the tickets and predict how the next few periods will be going, where you can put your money on. And don't forget, all best bets are exclusive to NairaBet.com, and you want to be part of the conversation and part of the interaction. Let me switch it up and go to Spain where we are still here. I'll start with you, Namdi. Namdi, we talked about Zidane. Whether it's the greatest or not, we don't care.
Yeah.
Right now, we just want to know, can we make money? Because let's see how the odds are looking like for the game where Zuzu will get to face up. Who is he facing again? Real Betis at home in Madrid. How do you see that game going?
Yeah, I think it's likely to be a home win.
Home win, straight win.
Yeah, straight win, maybe 2 clear goals, something of that nature. Yeah.
So, straight goal, under 2.5?
Straight win, no. I would say it looks like a 3-1 in my mind.
3-1.
But listen, bear in mind that I'm not the greatest at predicting outcomes. Yeah.
So Namdi says GG 3-1 most likely, and over
Exactly.
3.5.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
if you feel like that's a good one, a good on you, I can tell you also that if you want to go on the NairaBet website, the odds are pretty favorable if you feel like Real Madrid is going to take it away. I believe it's about 2.45 for his home win. But if you get money, when we say get level, where put on for Betis, you know, more odds in your favor. I'll move on to you, UB. Let me see. Barcelona will be facing Villarreal. First home game for the season, I believe. Is Messi back?
I'm not really sure what Messi is. How they want to ease him into the season. It's been an interesting off season for Lionel Messi and the guys. But I just get the sense that Real Madrid have faltered in the first game. They would want to win. You know, the games are a bit staggered now, aren't they? You know? I just get the sense that advantage, they wouldn't have too many this season. So once you have something like that, you're going to take it. So I'll go for a straight win Barcelona.
Straight win Barcelona.
I'll go for a straight win Barcelona, yeah.
Again, I will say this: if you get Christmas ticket, when you go on the website, we have Chukwueze there in Villarreal. This is a good time for them to get one over Barcelona, especially when you consider that they didn't do so well last season. Barcelona had just the luck of the draw to get it over them. So I'll tell you, if you have a Christmas ticket, put GG, but I'll tell you 2x meaning the away team to carry the goal. All bets are still exclusive and the best bets are still on NairaBet.com. I'm moving on to you, into the place called England. We saw them in action just a few days ago. They ate the Wolves, aka Portugal FC. I'm talking about Manchester City. And now they are facing the Foxes, Manchester City versus Leicester City. How do you see that game going, Gucci or Laba?
Straight to me now. What do you want to see again?
It's Brendan Rodgers now.
Rodgers. They go roll up. Straight win for Manchester City. I think easy. I think Leicester City have been good. They had a good game. They won 4-2.
Brilliant, back to back. They're top of the table.
But their team right now is kind of disorganized in the sense like Justin is playing right back, and he's playing from the
centre
front.
back, yeah.
And they have this guy playing from right back, the new guy from Atlanta, Casillas or something like that. So they have like a players that are not really comfortable. Yes, they played that position when he was younger, but not now. Imagine when he faced like a Kevin De Bruyne, like Gabriel Jesus and the rest. It's going to be a good game, but I think City at home, especially, City will win. But what you show me, just both teams score. But it will show me die. Like, it talks no good, but me a bad competition.
So both teams score
3-1.
3-1.
Correct score.
Mad.
No, it's me play.
Mad.
3-1.
Mad. Okay, so let me take it back to you, Mr. Yubi, the man in blue. Let's check out the Chelsea West Bromwich Albion game. The odds on the NairaBet website, www.nairabet.com, they put it at a favorable arrangement for the home team if they can manage to tweak it. How do you call this game for yourself?
Look, I think I love West Brom when I saw them last time. The problems with the manager obviously will linger into the next game. I don't quite feel they'll be ready to play a team like Chelsea, and Chelsea might have faltered against Liverpool, but I still think they would have too much for a team like West Brom, especially when you don't have the manager on the sideline. By and large, I love the kid, Diagana. We talked about him off air. Yep. I think it's just one of those players that might light up the Premier League this year. So I feel there'll be goals in the game for both teams, but obviously Chelsea would win. So straight win for Chelsea and a GG. So if you combine that, that could give you a nice little accumulator. I
like how you put it, because if you go to the site, it gets the home team for a 7.60 odd. So if you feel like WBA, the Altons have it in them, that would be a very crazy ticket. But if you get them, that means you are smiling to the bank, because a straight win for Chelsea is just 1.45, and it's not so much. So that means you have to beef up with the number of corner kicks per se, the number of free kicks per se, the number or likely goal scorer per se. And for now, since Chelsea doesn't usually start with standard boys that you'd expect, like Pulisic or
I said Timo Werner gets a first goal.
Now so you maybe can start with that.
Maybe an anytime goal scorer.
Anytime goal scorer
really
for Timo Werner.
Yeah.
So third time the charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The charm,
So you have it right there. Moving from that, I'm going to take it to everyone, in house, out house, every house. Feel free to jump into the banter. It is going to be the biggest fixture for this weekend: Liverpool versus Arsenal. So let me start with the Chris man. Not like
Laba. Who they call Chris man? How? Why they call me Chris man?
Not like that. I say
how you brand to protect?
Okay. The brand.
Just say Laba.
Okay, Laba.
By the way, we're all crazy in this country, sir. Okay. So, but
there's no same person in Nigeria. Thank for saying you know.
No, not that crazy.
Can Chelsea or Arsenal meet the same fate as Chelsea has
against Liverpool?
Yeah.
The difference that game is Liverpool go to play for house.
Let's see what that game is like.
That's the reason why I believe like Liverpool can do something. I'm not being biased. I used to be an Arsenal fan. Right now I'm a supporter. But I think Arsenal can win. Arsenal can win only if they defend properly. Against West Ham, that defense was tested a lot. Gabriel did his best, but I think that's why David Luiz needs to play. He's a necessary evil. At the time he had the touch, but he brings leadership and direction in middle. When you consider that Leno doesn't really control his line that well, so I think Arsenal can. I think what's the odds for Arsenal, please?
So an Arsenal to win is at 5.90.
Madu.
Right now.
Yeah. Madu.
See, if you can take risks. This life, don't take risks, you will not blow. If you can take risks, honestly, take Arsenal to win. Can't do it right. 5 odds? Are you kidding me?
5.90. That's a lot.
If you put 5K, go buy land for Soviet.
People.
Arsenal to win.
My view, one word, 2 syllables.
Okay.
Thiago. I think that the way that boy moves the ball, man, it's romance. And I think that altogether, because of that addition, Liverpool will have too much in the midfield for.
You get injured before that day.
Especially because right now we can't really play 4-3-3 like we'd like to.
Yeah.
Like I think Arteta would like to because of the resources we have.
Yeah.
It means there'll be spaces on the flanks for Salah and Mane to roam. We know how deadly those two are.
Okay.
Mane loves playing Arsenal. But I can tell you for sure both teams will score. That's my prediction. I think you can go for a goal.
Yeah,
GG bet. But Liverpool will take that game. 2-1.
Okay. What about you, Ibi?
I mean, for me, like Liverpool to win is 1.55. So that tells you where everybody thinks the game is going to go. It might, does that change closer to the game? I never know. But I just sense that there's two teams that are going to drop points. I just get that feeling. I get the feeling that Arsenal have found a way to play in the big games, and you're not so confident in the sense that they don't have the full personnel complement of the personnel they would need. But I just sense that a draw is really good, and the odds for a draw are also encouraging me to probably put a stake on that game, which is 4.75, which is very healthy.
Very healthy.
So Arsenal wins.
It's league play, so I have a point. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw. I just feel that start of the season, Liverpool have become accustomed to league play. They've been racking up.
I think we are hyping this Liverpool too much.
Over 2 seasons.
They are not really that special like before.
99 points in each of the last 2
Leave
seasons.
those teams. How many
times has
different
Liverpool
to see leave that team. Liverpool have been sorted. They don't fight. Right now, they group not scams, but upcoming scams. Arsenal will beat Liverpool. I'm so certain. I'm so sure. 2-1.
2-1.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to place a bet against him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to place a bet in the other direction. I promise I'll bet on it, and you guys can talk about it on the next.
Okay,
show.
so Liverpool to win,
Liverpool
Arsenal
will
to
win
win.
2-1.
This is a very odd kind of bet coming in
let's take a
from
private
the
bet.
Arsenal fans on set, because one is for Arsenal to
I'm a
carry the goal.
supporter, not a fan.
Okay, supporter says 2-1. That means under 2.5, and of course Nnamdi, he just says Liverpool straight win. I'll tell you that even UB gets a draw.
Yeah, I guess a draw. It's really, really evenly spread.
Evenly spread. Let me just be a tiebreaker here. I'll tell you that if you want to go to the site and see your accumulators like UB, as mentioned before, are stupid for this show today, man, talk true. I'll tell you this though, if you want to put an extra pad into your bet, you can put a straight win, or you can add up with a likely goal scorer. Aubameyang to be a very likely goal scorer. I'll tell you that because he does this back to back now for the Liverpool game. Mane is also someone you don't want to look down on for fixtures like this, but also you also have the options of a GG and adding it to an X, so you can have both team to score, but it's a draw, and the odds are still mad on that. So in case you get money when you say you won't drop on this one, I'll tell you, put a GG, both team to score, a draw as a possible option or outcome, and also put a likely goal scorer for Aubameyang and Mane, because you know what, with this kind of straight bettings, you can never go wrong. Go on the website and run your package. Thank you so much, people, for coming through. I think that's
Totally enjoyed it. Totally enjoyed having him.
And this is my last time. So
all this one they talk. We don't pop your chair, we go drag you, come back. We will use you. We use you.
You can't use me.
You
want to drag my chair? I'm fat. You can't drop me.
It will shock you. We will use you. We will squeeze you.
Why are you so aggressive?
Because you're.
Because they don't like Egusi soup. I'm so aggressive.
Now you disagree.
So that's it. But it's nice to be here, by the way. I enjoyed it. Totally enjoy myself. And hopefully, when I come next, I will not wear cap, I will not wear glass. I promise, when I come next, I'm going to take my hair, like I'll bob everything down in celebration of Arsenal winning Liverpool 2-1.
I like that. And thank you so much for coming through, Mr. Native GQ. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. I'll take that actually.
And please, next time, don't bring this guy close to me, bro. He's a bully.
Please.
He's fresh, he's tall, like that, all of us. So don't bring him close to me, man.
But
I don't like it.
You talk, eh?
I thought this guy is kind of mountain now. You watch Game of Thrones? Seriously? And this guy. What's that guy's name?
So nice.
What's that guy's name?
I just clicked.
What's that guy's name?
Don't worry yourself.
Yes, now
You're not going to make him first, but
yes,
I think it's safe to say next week you should be the one on this side of the couch.
I totally enjoyed being
Like,
here.
it's
For real though. Yeah.
The only advantage was I was smelling his perfume, so I'm
So I don't get perfume now. I get 3 different
I
perfumes.
feel thoroughly
Oh, it's cheap.
objectified, but that's okay.
3 different perfumes.
Thank you.
No
Three.
problem.
Safe
Big
space.
girl.
3.
Anyway, we'll be back next week.
You know, so my 3 perfumes.
You go let me
Spend
make a
1.
close show.
And we are colleagues.
You go let me make a close show.
When you come, I don't want to perfume again. It's not right.
Are you done? Okay, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. We can continue at the comment section. And place your bets. Bets, odds, and best bets are always on NairaBet.com, and you're good to go. I'm still Tracy Chappelle, the one you call for. Hopefully, I'll be on this side of the couch tomorrow or the next week. Welcome.